Now, sir, one of the stories I am fascinated by, and I've spent a lot of time trying to track him down and chase down this story, and I know, I don't know if you're going to tell me about this, but I know you know about this because I have my sources in Israel who tell me you've also been trying to contact him, is the story of Haim Eshed, an Israeli professor of aeronautics and astronautics, a retired brigadier general in Israeli military intelligence. He was the director of space programs for the Israeli Defense Department for 30 years, chair of its space committee, the father of Israel's space program. And in an extraordinary interview in December 2020, Haim Eshed claimed that the government of the United States had been in contact with ET life for years, and that it had signed secret agreements with a galactic federation to do experiments on Earth. He even claimed there was a joint base underground on Mars where aliens collaborate with US astronauts. Now, he claimed President Trump was told about this, but was stopped from revealing it because of fears of mass hysteria. Now, it's too easy to dismiss this chap as somebody who's mentally ill or aged and infirm, because I'm told he's not. I'm told he's still got his marbles, that Haim Eshed is a very, very astute, very clever, and extremely well-respected man. And in fact, another chap called Isaac Ben Israel, the chairman of the Israel Space Agency, whom I know you know, he has also said that whilst Eshed went too far with his claims, he vouched for Haim Eshed's seriousness, sincerity, and standing in the field. Now, I apologize for that ridiculously long question, but there are millions of people watching you right now, Professor. Tell me, what do you think of Haim Eshed's theory, the suggestion that we are already in touch with ETs?
Well, his remarks echo what we heard from David Grusch. And, in December 2023, just 5 months ago, I spoke with David Grusch, and I asked him for details, clear evidence to substantiate what he is talking about. He said that he cannot provide it because of legal issues. But he himself, talked about things that resemble what Haim Eshed talked about. Around the same time, I was also visiting CERN. Interestingly, the host showed me the book by Eshed. Now, Eshed gave all this information in a magazine interview to a journalist, but he did not include the details in his book. And so the host was asking me to translate from Hebrew to English. And when I looked at the book, I realized that Eshed is speaking about me. And he was talking about Oumuamua. I've never had a discussion with him, but I know that he was well aware of what I'm doing and appreciating the science that I'm doing. And as you said, I don't think, he went crazy. I do think that the people regard him very highly when, and still are. And so it's interesting, maybe there is some fire behind the smoke. I mean, we hear from different people. Now, within the US government, there might be different sections, some of which are not aware of what's going on in others. And that may explain why the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office insists that there is nothing really extraterrestrial in what they are doing. So, we can wait for the evidence to come out or for more people to eventually reveal it. I had a visitor from Lockheed Martin, someone that used to play an important role there at my home. And I said, do you believe or do you think that there is any substance behind David Grusch's claim? Maybe a corporation like Lockheed Martin has some materials, maybe the government gave it. And I expected him to dismiss it up front, but instead he said, I don't think it's necessarily wrong. And so it might well be that the materials are not held by the Pentagon, by the Department of Defense, but they were given to corporations. And in that case, the corporations would develop a relationship very similar to a patient-psychiatrist relation. A psychiatrist never solves the problem of the patient because, they get paid for addressing them. And so, the corporations are not following a scientific narrative. They are not trying to inform humanity of astronomical realizations. And so as a result, they never resolve the issue. They never tell the US government the full story. And they don't have necessarily the best scientists. So the only way forward is either to get to the source within government, or to actually collect the information ourselves rather than wait for them. And I take the second.
Can I just interrupt there for a moment, Professor? I just wanted to pin you down. I was told that you tried to meet Haim Eshed.
Right.
Did you try?
I tried to meet him, but didn't. In the last visit that I had to Israel, it didn't work out. So maybe next time.
Can I ask you this? Have you spoken to any people in Israel about Haim Eshed's claims?
Yeah.
I think his claims are extraordinarily significant, and I have sources in both Israel and America who've told me that Haim Eshed is an incredible figure in the Israel space program. People speak about him with awe, and as one person said to me, if Haim Eshed says that, I'm taking it seriously. Are you?
Yeah, I mean, I talked with people who know him well, and they have a great respect to what he says. And so the only issue I have is that I haven't seen the evidence. He was talking about things, but, it's really difficult to embrace an opinion without seeing the evidence, the facts behind it, even documents, I haven't seen any of those. I'm trying to do my best job as a scientist. And I believe, if you ask me, I believe it's arrogant for us to think that we are alone, that we are the smartest that ever lived, the smartest species since the Big Bang. And I think we will soon get a reality check on that, either from AI that becomes comparable to the human brain as we speak. And within years, we will not be the most intelligent entities on Earth, irrespective of extraterrestrials, but that would give us sort of a sense of modesty. And I think in the distant future, if we find a neighbor that is far more advanced than we are, that has access to technologies that we do not understand, that experience will be similar to Moses in the biblical story, seeing the burning bush that was never consumed. And, obviously, you can find online nowadays gadgets that would impress Moses as much as he was impressed to believe in a superhuman entity that he called God. But even for us, if we bring technologies that we will use 100 years from now, if we were to witness them now, we would be at awe, a religious awe, and we might start to believe in a superhuman entity. And for me, this is, the sense of awe that was lost when Friedrich Nietzsche said God is dead. And after that, that was in 1882. After that, we had the age of science and technology that manifests hubris, human arrogance. And it's about time for us to develop a new sense of modesty. And I think that sense will be brought by a package from a neighbor that we would find in our backyard.